Hello.
Hello,
My name's Carol. What's your name?
my name is Andrea.
Where are you from?
I'm from Genova in the north of Italy on the coast.
I see. Okay. Well, now, can I ask you some questions? Tell me about your country. What's the weather like in your country?
Usually sunny, in winter is not so cold. In summer it depends on different parts. On the coast it's never too hot because because of the wind and of the temperature. Um, influenced also by the sea. So in summer it's never so hot.
Which time of year do you think is best in your country?
I'm sorry?
Which time of year do you think is best in your country?
Spring and
Why?
autumn. Spring has the best weather. It's never too hot, and I don't know. It's also, I think, also because of the changing. You come from winter, you're going through the summer. So spring is fresh air, and it's a changing.
Have you visited many different parts of your country?
Not many actually. Just a few, because my parents prefer to go on holiday abroad, so I visited more England than my country actually.
Now let's talk about your family. Do you share a house with any of your family?
I live in Genova with my parents and my sister, who is 6 years old. And I also have a brother who lives in London at the moment. He's not son of my parents. He's son of my father and of his first wife.
Do most people in your family live in the same town or village?
Most people of my family in the same town or in Milan.
Why?
Because of job reasons and something like that.
When did you last have a family party?
I think our last family party was the Christmas one. Yeah, it's a tradition. Like most of families in Italy, for Christmas we have a party where we meet all parents, all the relatives and cousins, uncles, aunts, grandparents. It was very nice.
Which person in your family are you most similar to?
It's difficult to answer. I'm a mix of my parents, and I think the person I'm most similar to is my little sister. But it's more appropriate to say that she's similar to me, maybe.
How?
We are both sensitive, I think quite creative. We like foreign languages. She's already studying English, and we like drawing and playing tennis and this kind of stuff.
Okay, thank you. Well, now I'll give you a subject to tell me something about.
Right.
And you have a minute to prepare. Here's some paper and pencil to make notes. Can you describe a place in another part of the world that you would love to visit in the future? Okay.
All right.
So would you like to start?
Yes, I'd love to visit Paris because I've never been there, and I've been to many capital cities in the world, also in the States, but I've never been to Paris, even if it's so close to Italy. I know that. No, sorry. I have many friends, from France and especially from Paris, because every year in England I meet different kinds of people coming from different countries, and most of them are French. So every year I think that I'd really like to go there, also to visit, to go and see them, you know, and also to visit the place. It's very famous for museums and monuments, and I'm really interested in modern art and music. So I'd really love to go. Also because I think that everybody needs to have a general culture on other other cities, other countries. So I think that Paris is a place that almost everybody has to visit. Um, uh, I'd really like also French kitchen. So nouvelle cuisine and all that kind of stuff. I think I'd really enjoy it. I'll go there by plane, surely. I think it's much more comfortable than going there by train. And
Okay, thank you. And who would you go to that place with?
I think with my parents or with friends maybe. No idea. It's the same for me.
Okay, thank you. Can I take these, please? Thanks. Okay, well, you've spoken about a place in another part of the world that you would love to visit in the future. So now let's discuss some related subjects. Can people learn more about geography from TV than they can from books?
It depends. It depends from the kind of books, and it depends on the TV programs. Of course, if you watch, for example, National Geographic frequently, you will learn a lot of information about different places, maybe unknown places. Reading books also is very useful.
Do you think TV programs about different places encourage people to travel themselves?
It depends. It depends of what kind of places, what kind of people follow that kind of these programs. I think, yeah, generally, I think it's true.
Well, now let's talk about visiting other countries. For what reasons do you think international travel has increased in recent years?
I think more culture, less ignorance. So people desire to see more places and so on. And also maybe it's easier to travel because you have low-cost flights and you can take trains from everywhere, planes from everywhere, and also most of people can pay a holiday in a foreign country.
Some people say it's important for people to find out about another country before they visit it. Do you agree?
Yes, I do. I think that finding out some general information about a country you are visiting, for example, the culture, how is better to be dressed, for example, if you go in different countries, I think is very important. Yeah.
How useful is it for people to understand the language of the countries they visit?
It's quite important, you know, if you find yourself in an emergency situation, it's important to know basic vocabulary and so on, you know, just about maybe hospitals and hotels.
Okay, now let's consider the tourism industry. Does tourism play a big part in the economy of your country?
I don't think so. Italy is not so loved by tourists. There are just a few parts of it, like Toscana and Sardinia, and some cities like the capital city, Rome, and then Venezia, Firenze, which are very crowded and very visited by tourists in I think all the periods of the year. But tourism doesn't play an important part in our economy, especially in the economy of my city.
What kinds of unpredictable factor can have a negative effect on the tourism industry?
I'm sorry?
What kinds of unpredictable factor can have a negative effect on the tourism industry?
What do you mean by unpredictable factor?
Well, an example might be bad weather, something that we can't predict.
All right. Bad weather is one. Dangerous conditions, for example, earthquake or storms, something like that, and also epidemics, particular kind of illness, but I think tourism depends mainly on the kind of place you visit.
In the future, what kinds of development might there be in the tourism industry?
I think it's going to be much developed also because of cheap prices. You can have cheaper and cheaper flights, and so moving from a country to another is getting easier and easier. And I don't know very much about tourism.
Okay, thank you. That's the end of the test.
All right.